Welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be talking about the 10 things to keep in mind as these tariffs come into play and the recession starts to approach a little bit more. First one you're going to want to do is you're going to become an ingredient household. If you want to beat these tariffs, you're going to want to be an ingredient household. You're not going to want to buy that prefabricated food at the grocery store. You're going to be wanting to make things at home. You're also not going to be wanting to go and eat out, because right now, even fast food's like 40 bucks for like a family of 5. There's no purpose in that when you could save a lot more money by buying and bringing it home and cooking it at home. Yes, it's less convenient, but you're gonna wanna do that. Also, when it comes to meats, you're gonna wanna be picking those cheaper meats. Trust me, you're gonna thank me down the road. You're gonna want your pork chops. You're gonna want your bone-in chicken. You're gonna wanna take that 5 minutes at home and start cutting out the bones and just making that little bit of effort, because what you're paying for is somebody else's hard labor. So you can buy cheaper meat. You're gonna learn how to tenderize. You're gonna learn how to marinate. You're gonna have a lot better meals, and you're gonna have a lot more control of your budget. All right, I got all this list written down, so we're gonna go through each and everything on it. You're also gonna be wanting to save your bones from your meat, put them in a Ziploc bag, toss those into your freezer, and make broth out of that. Who wants to be paying $12 for quality bone broth at the grocery store when you can be making it on pennies on the cent, okay? All right, it's just a little bit of effort goes a long ways. You're also right now going to want to, this is number 2, you're going to want to upgrade your devices if you need one. For instance, my phone right here, she's been holding on to her last leg. She's been paid off for 2.5 years, and I have just been making her work. If you guys did not know, I film most of my videos on TikTok and on YouTube on an iPhone 11, okay? This is the first time I'm choosing to upgrade, all right? I'm choosing to upgrade now because I know the price of what they import in for those devices is gonna cost more, and I don't wanna pay any more than already what's inflated. Next, you're gonna want to stock up on items that have been affected by growing past seasons. If you guys did not know, a lot of agriculture worldwide has been affected. So you have your olive oils. Spain and Italy were hit with not only freezes, but high drought, and the olives actually were about half the size of their normal. So olive oil is already a cent to be much higher to purchase this year than any year before. And then you add tariffs onto it, you're gonna wanna pick up extra olive oil. The next one, the cacao plant. Chocolate, for instance. You have all those harvests last year, there was a bunch of fields that were infested by a bunch of pests. And so those prices are going to be skyrocketing, and then you add tariffs onto it, it could cause even it to be worse. Also, wheat. Wheat is imported. A lot of it is imported. A lot of it is grown here in the US, but depending on where you are worldwide right now, you might want to stock up on wheat berries, flour, sugar, rice. All of that is going to go up in cost. Now, another thing to keep in mind is hygiene products. A lot of the ingredients that they use in hygiene products, unless you make your own and you make your own soap, those are going to raise up a lot, along with household equipment such as your appliances. If your fridge is going out and you just decided you're not going to do it, this would be the time you're going to want to upgrade. You're going to want to get that deep freezer now. You're not going to want to wait for them to increase that price by hundreds of dollars. You don't pay for the tariffs that are happening. Do it now. Do it while you have it on your mind. If you've been putting off preps that you think, oh no, I'll just wait, I'm saving for it for like the next 6 months. If they're that important to you, I would do it now before the prices do increase. Next one. This one is very, very important for every person out there. Your automotive. If you do not have a US automobile, there's a chance that prices are, not even a chance, it's going to increase, guys. I'm just going to be very blunt and honest with you guys. It's going to be very, very expensive. So if you've been putting off getting work done on your vehicles, if you needed to fix something on your vehicle, I would do it now before the tariffs. And the fact is with these tariffs, there could be like goods halted because of the cost. And so not as many people are going to be ordering parts. And so it might take a lot longer for those parts to come in. So if you need new tires, if you need to fix your transmission, Those are the things you want to keep in mind. If your vehicle is having issues, that's something you want to put at the very forefront of your mind. Victory gardens. I've said it in a previous video. You want to have your victory gardens now, this year. You want to start combating some of these inflation prices with being able to grow your own food. It takes a little bit of effort. You can grow a lot of food in small spaces. This year, I'm planning to put in a lot more potato plants than I've ever done because potatoes are cheap, they're easy to grow, and they have a lot of calories. And that is one thing that is very important to me, along with all of our salad, our vegetables, our tomatoes. I grow all of those and a lot of our fruit trees. You're going to want to have your victory gardens, even if it's something as small as herbs. Nobody wants to pay high prices in the stores, and understand not all of these are going to be affected by the tariffs. However, consumerism, those big box stores and those competitors are going to raise their prices because of the supply and demand. So just like the eggs, even though one farm wasn't affected by the avian flu, they all raised their prices. It's because they want to keep up with their competitors. They think that their competitors are making $15 for a dozen eggs. Then of course they're going to put theirs at like $14.50. They're going to try to match each other's prices. So take a little bit more control of your grocery budget by growing your own food. All right, many items are also manufactured with imported items, such as if you're holding off on purchasing certain gear or the textile prices are going to increase. So for instance, if you're looking at purchasing solar panels, inverters, anything like that, those prices are going to increase, along with clothing prices are going to increase. A lot of our clothing is imported and it's going to just go up from there. So that's what I mean by textiles. You're going to want to like just bite the bullet now. If you want to go somewhere, you need to get new shoes, I would probably do it now before the prices increase much further, because we do know that we're going to see prices go up essentially almost on everything because, once again, consumerism. Those box stores, supply and demand, they're going to want to raise their prices, and inflation can only go up so high before it crumbles down. Knuckling down on your food storage. This is number 8, you guys. You're going to want to knuckle down on your food storage. You are now an ingredient household. You're going to invest your time in making your own bread. You're going to invest your time in cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home, taking a lunch to work with you. You are not going to want to eat out. As a recession is here, and it is pounding on that door, and it could get a lot worse. We could go past a recession and straight into a depression. And a depression means not only does your neighbor not have a job, but you don't have a job anymore. It could get a lot worse. You're going to want to focus in on your food storage, and we're talking shelf-stable foods. Buy one for now, 2 for later, food that lasts forever. Rice. You can substitute a lot of your food and your meals at home with potatoes and rice. You can use those as a filler on top of your meat, your vegetables. You can start to balance it a lot more, and you're going to save money. Trust me on this. Just trust me on this. I grew up in a home. I was very, very poor, and we used rice for everything. We used potatoes for everything. You're going to want to do the same. You're going to want to make your financials stretch further and not have to worry about if something happens, all of a sudden you're out of job and you're debating between groceries for you and your kids or a roof over your head. It's always going to be, you're going to put your money towards your roof over your head. You should be buckling down and investing into your food storage now. Your food storage does not go to waste. I don't care what anyone says on the internet. It doesn't go to waste if you use it. You can pull from your old food storage and use it into meals. Also, deep dive into your freezers. What is freezer burned? It doesn't mean it's bad. I use freezer burned meat all the time in crock pot meals. It's fine. I use it with soups, all kinds of things. Go through your freezer, start digging out the stuff that's been in there for a while, start replacing it with new, and start focusing on your budget and knuckle down and really invest in your rotational pantry and your long-term food storage. Focusing on your financials, that is number 9, you guys. You're gonna wanna focus on your financials. You're gonna wanna cut out the shit. Cut it out. Cut out all the waste. You don't need it. You do not need that waste in your life. You don't need that extra subscription. You don't need to be paying for things that you are not using on a daily basis. Cut out the extra. pay off your credit cards. Start paying them off, guys. I know some people out there still like to Y2K prep, put everything on a credit card. Pay those credit cards off. Make sure that you are caught up on your bills. Do not live outside your means, because this is gonna hurt. I said it in the last video. It's gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt really bad. Number 10, this is my favorite one. You're gonna wanna focus. Focus on your communities, focusing on your bartering and your skills. Practicing a skill, tying a knot, working on starting fires, bartering, getting to know your neighbors, getting to know your community. Who's got chickens? Who doesn't? If somebody wants to make me sourdough, I'll sure give them some extra eggs. I do make my own sourdough, but if somebody was to make me something, I definitely would give them eggs. I would give them what I have. I always focus on community. Most of our neighbors right behind us are retired. I like to give them boxes of tomatoes when my tomatoes are growing. Focus on your community. Really lean on each other and make sure that you and your family are all on the same page, that this is where you're going to focus. You're going to start prepping way more, because nowhere in the list of 10 I just gave you was to say don't prep. What I'm saying is prep, and prep hard, because something is happening. Not only a recession, not only tariffs, but things are going to get worse. You have World War III, you have all these other things going on, potential of war. You have all these prices that continue to increase. Sooner or later, no one's going to be able to afford to feed their families. A victory garden is a great way to set it off. And what I meant by victory garden, you don't need a Pinterest garden. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to be able to make food. Yes, you can grow in 5-gallon buckets, and you can grow in doors. You can grow in small containers. You can grow in large containers. You can make the effort. Use buckets. Use buckets you have left around. It's okay. It doesn't need to be aesthetically pleasing. I want you guys to really focus in on your community, your family, and making sure that you understand your skills and where you're lacking in your skills. Everyone with a victory garden can work on their gardening skills. You can work on your canning skills. One of the things that I think is going to get affected, and I know a lot of you out there watch me and you do a lot of canning just like I do, canning lids. You want to prep your canning lids now, because steel is at a 25% increase with the tariffs. So we're gonna see another canning lid crisis. And that goes along with a lot of other equipment out there that is made from steel. There are so many things that are going to be affected by this. You want to be ahead of the curve. So please keep prepping, keep working towards it, and make sure you're supporting your local businesses, your small businesses. They're gonna need help with these tariffs. And as always, stay resilient, stay aware, stay prepared, and always have your head on a swivel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and tell me the things that you are prepping down below, and I will catch you on the next one.